Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the stock market. A gold dealer talks about the stock market. I probably should say coin dealer, but it doesn't have the same appeal even though technically I deal in gold. So I've been talking to a few people, a few friends, one of my clients abroad, he messaged me and he's like, it's going to be a bloodbath to sell off, it started, the world's going to burn. And to be honest, I think we might be there. I think this might be the start of the end. I think it's going to get a lot worse. It's something that I thought would have been happening for a long time. But my views have changed on why it's happening as the landscape, the economic landscape has changed. When I got into gold and silver, I initially believed that the EU I thought it would crumble. I still think it will crumble, but I think there's bigger things at issue, such as the sheer amount of liquidity. I think that's what's pushed the markets into kind of overdrive. The printing press went brrr, and then they're trying to take it out. Looking at the stock market, it's not looking good. I'm going to give you my views on what I think will happen, how that relates to gold and silver, and how I intend to play it if it goes the way I think it will. So yeah, let's break it down. So looking at where the world economy is, especially with QT starting, but also with mass inflation. I mentioned prior in a video that inflation was at, I think it was 9.6% in the States. They reckon the shadow inflation was closer to 20%. Inflation in the UK is rife at the moment. I can't talk for Australia. I don't have data on that. I know Europe, they're having issues as well. And it's forcing people out of positions. There's a lot of people who are on credit. I've spoken to a lot of people. There's a lot of people speaking to me about liquidating their assets, their coin, because they've either lost their job or their hours have been cut. They've got too many outgoings. Everything's going up. And I think this is going to have a massive effect on the stock market. And it is kind of interlinked. Now, in terms of gold and silver, if it tanks, personally, I think gold and silver will drop for the short term. I think it will then rocket. I think people will start selling out. It will force the prices down slightly. Could see 1300, 1350, but I'm not a technical analyst. That's what my gut is gearing me towards. And you might be thinking, yeah, but why are you still buying? Truth is, my job is to buy and sell. I just make a spread. And for every person that thinks it goes down, there's going to be someone else if there's a person that thinks it goes down, there's going to be someone with the idea that it's going to go up. So it might drop and someone might be like, hang on, I see value in this. No one's got a crystal ball. No one really knows. You can hedge against it, but no one really knows the outcome of if it will go up or down. Now, I do think gold will drop, but I think stocks and housing, I think they will take an absolute kicking. So I'm kind of going cash at the moment. I'm holding the most cash I've ever held. I intend to add to that cash position. Now, I may not be right. I may be wrong. Again, my job is just to make a spread. It's not to kind of speculate. I've always run a kind of portfolio, balanced portfolio between your bullion and your semi-numi with the odd numismatic piece. Personally, I want to get out of the semi-numi, but I'm going to be trading bullion like hot potatoes as well. I feel that if it goes down, there's going to be bargains. I've said it for a few videos that there might be bargains on the market. We shall see. We shall see. Again, don't have a crystal ball. My job is to get in and out. It's to make those deals. I'm more of a deal maker and kind of someone who links people up with stock. So someone says to me, hey, I'm after X, Y, Z. What comes in, I link it up to the person, and if it doesn't sell via that way, I'll sell it via social media and these days YouTube has definitely grown in that area for me, which it was something I wasn't really thinking about when I set the channel up. It was meant to be more of an educational channel and to put my ideas and views, and also it was also set up to improve the way I conducted myself on camera because I have aspirations going into lecturing. Now, in terms of the stock market, I think it's going to take a beating. I think it's going to take a beating for many reasons. I think a lot of people are going to have to sell down, and I think a lot of people want margin. I think it's the same with houses. With the base rate getting pushed up, I think a lot of people in terms of housing are going to look at their house or their portfolio that they've acquired and think, it's not actually viable, so let's sell it. And if there's mass selling, it's going to force the prices down. Same with the stock market. What I think will happen is everything will go down and gold will shoot. Gold and silver will shoot. Typically, silver shoots after gold. It hangs on its coattails and it's more explosive and violent in terms of how it shoots up. But you got to hold on to it. A lot of people, more and more, are not in that position. I can tell you that from first-hand experience. I get more and more people wanting to sell. Not everyone is selling because they're struggling. Some people are selling because they're getting out of the hobby. Some people are selling because they've seen something else they like. But a lot more people, they've lost their job, or their hours have been cut, or they're clearing debt, which is prudent. If you're clearing debt, I think it is prudent. I have been toying with the idea of taking out more credit because I want to be cash heavy. I believe what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of deals on the market, especially in the stock market. A lot of people, they can't get onto the property market in terms of the pricing. You've got to have a certain deposit. I reckon the banks are going to go 20% plus on their deposit. That's my views. I'm not an expert in housing. I think they're going to want more security when buying a house, just in case these problems persist over the next few years. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to get rid of disinflation or how they're going to solve it. There is a lot going on in the world economy. Some of it we've seen before, such as war. We've seen that. We've seen rising prices. We had it in the 70s. There has been many times in world history, especially globalization. And globalization goes back hundreds of years. It's not a new thing. It really isn't. We had the Latin Monetary Union, and that was 200 years ago. But we never have quantitative easing. We never had that level of debasement. In my head, when I think about it, and these are complex ideas, so if I'm off the mark and people disagree, I'm more than happy to hear your views on it. I'm not a genius, but I do think about these issues and these topics. In my head, I think that the swings are going to be more violent. You're going to have more and more people who get taken to the cleaners, and you're going to have more and more people who are in a position to kind of benefit, and there's going to be a lot of wealth that is exchanged hands from, I don't want to say from the poor to the rich. That always happens. The mechanism for the economic system just works that way due to inflation. But I think the savvier people who can sit on their hands, who can rough this out. Like, I've slashed my targets this year. Last year, I saved £40,000. I absolutely worked myself into the ground, to the detriment of my health. And I don't think I could do it. I'm only 31, but I don't think I could do a year like that again. It was too much. But this year I've slashed my targets completely. I've just said to myself, don't go backwards. I'm aiming for break even and up. And if I can do that, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for me, especially in the stock market. I am at a position where I probably could afford a house, probably not where I live, but in certain parts of the country, so I can dabble with that. But I think if you just hold out instead of buying these, wait for it to drop a bit, I do think it will drop a lot more. Looking at the FTSE today, so there was 10 companies, bottom performers, I think it ranged from 4.5% down to 7.5% down. We're not even there yet. The wheels are not even fallen off yet. The car's just, leaking fuel. It's not in a good position, and I am expecting a lot of opportunities. If you can hold, I'd hold. Again, I'm not an expert. These are just my views, but my plan is to hold on to the coin, and then I'm going to flip it. If it goes the way I think it will, I'm going to flip from my coin to the stock market or to the property market, because I think that's where the wealth is going to be made. We saw it in the pandemic. A lot of the miners flew. A lot of the gold miners flew up. Gold flew up. It kind of preempted it. Stock market crashed. I think Royal Dutch Shell was trading for £10 a share. Last time I checked, it was, I will tell you, but it's on my, I think it's down about 2.5% today, and it's trading hands at essentially £23 a share. So within 2 years, you more than doubled your money. Good position to be in. That's how I think it would go. Please let me know your thoughts. you may think, nah, Sean, I don't agree with you. I just don't agree with you. I'm just speaking out loud because I'm curious to where people think the market is going. I'm kind of trying to see where the consensus is, because the consensus is important in times like this. It really is. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.